recording a short video and I'm going to put it at the beginning of each lesson. And the reason of doing so is to give you a memory jog of what is really the core fundamental principles or understandings that lays through all the lessons of this course. So, first thing, your complete understanding is not what is required. It's about transformation and experience and getting a grasp of what's manageable by yourself and all the other stuff that is not manageable, and how to hand this over and to how, without any effort, experience a release of all the things that you no longer need to keep in your memories and in your mind. So I've printed out all the things I wanted to say, so I'm going to read it, because why would I learn it off heart and then look really incredible? That's really not the point of this course. So similar with all the things I have to say. So first is a bit of a paragraph. So my statement is that at birth, our human brains are blank slates. So when we are born, our human minds and brains, nothing there. So during the first 8 years of life, and this is evidence presented in neuroscience, our brains train themselves to receive sensory information and store memories. And this helps us to navigate the complexities of space and time. So when my toddler is like, what is this? And then my mum or dad might say, that's a bottle. So now I go like, okay, the sound bottle and this shape goes together. And then later I learned there's stuff inside the bottle, and it could be for different reasons. And I build my memory bank so that by the time I'm 8, as soon as I see this, my brain will then project onto this object all of my memories. And of course, it's not the truth, it's not reality, it's my reality. They are my memories. So if it's not real, we call it an illusion, right? So it's not like, I'm hallucinating, it's an illusion. No, it's like, it's my experience, it's my past, it's my memories, it's how my mind or brain was trained. Okay, so at any given moment, we receive approximately 11 million sensory inputs, all of which are filtered through a structure called the thalamus. However, only 40 inputs are projected by the thalamus onto the neocortex. The neocortex is that walnut structure right on top of the brain, just underneath the top of the skull. And it's in the neocortex where we become conscious and aware of the sensory experiences that are presented to our thalamus. There's one exception that doesn't get filtered, and that's the sense of smell, which is really well developed. Millions and millions and millions of nuances of smell. You see people swirling wine in a glass and smell it? That's because smell is so superior over your taste buds. Yeah, taste buds, 5 things. Smell, 30 million, who knows? Okay, so this process just highlights a crucial truth. Our awareness is both limited and in many ways it is illusionary. It's illusionary in the sense that no single human being ever, now or in the future, will record reality or the truth. It actually only records what we have trained it to do. All right, go on. The neocortex helps us analyze, compare, and contrast experiences, allowing us to learn from them. However, this capacity is limited. It was never equipped to manage every aspect of life, especially when situations become complex, overwhelming, or beyond our immediate control. And specifically, when we think quickly as well, we are also more prone to making mistakes. Okay, Michael, why is this important to understand? A very fair question, and I hope you agree with me. This is a very fair question. So, the answer lies within the course of Everyday Miracles on the Project Love app website. So, recognizing that admitting life's challenges are unmanageable is not a failure. So, say that again. So, recognizing that admitting life's challenges are unmanageable is not a failure. So this recognition, this admission allows you to seek answers from a power greater than yourself, rather than relying solely on self-management by a very limited capacity of your analytical part of your brain. So neuroscience says the frontal cortex around here, that's where all of that analyzing happens. It was never meant to analyze complexities of emotions and all that kind of stuff. It was merely designed so you can navigate through space and time. Oh, I put my hand on a hot plate, let's not do that again because it will burn my skin. Yeah, that's the kind of thing it was designed to do. And of course, some people have a very creative mind. They can think without the boundaries. And neuroscience actually wonders, is that part of the brain, or is that a consciousness that comes from outside the material structure? Right? And it's just interesting to look at that, because if a brain, a physical organ, can produce consciousness, then consciousness must be in physical material stuff. Something can never create or deliver something that it is not. Right? Love comes from love. The source of love is love. The source of emotion is emotion. So if you say, like, it's just the brain, well, that's fine. But the brain then should be seen as something that has consciousness and emotions in its physical structure. Anyway, we're digressing. But very fair observation. So, when you train your mind to surrender, here. So where do we turn for true answers? Yeah, where do we go if we can't use that analytical part of the frontal lobe of our neocortex? Well, I'm telling you this, and it's not just me. This comes from every enlightened, awakened, truly enlightened and awakened mind. It is a miracle-minded way of living. So it's not in staying in your consciousness and live above your head, accumulate lots of beautiful, graceful energy there. It lies in miracle-minded way of living. And that means you hand your will and your life over to this greater power that I just spoke about. And everyone will have their own illusionary idea of what that greater power is or represent, or you know what I'm saying. And of course, no one really knows, because with our analytical thinking human brains, we will never be able to grasp what that greater power really is. But still, we need to have an understanding. So if you say, like, I don't believe in God, well, what are you not believing in? What is your idea of God? Or if you say, I believe in God, and gee whiz, I need to convince everyone else to believe in God as well. But well, that's fine if you want to do that. But what then is your idea of God that you believe in and you want everyone else to believe in as well? Otherwise, what is it that you really try to endeavor? You get the gist of what I'm saying. Okay. So a miracle-minded way of living. So a miracle means, like, I don't know how it comes about, but I mean the experience of the very loving and healing effect, outcome of inviting this power greater than myself into the management of my life's experiences and my beingness. All right. When you train your mind to surrender the management of life's experiences to a greater power than yourself, you unlock effortless transformations of emotions like pain, hurt, suffering, even physical ailments at times. So we're talking about the management of your life. If you think you can invite it in to win the lotto, the jackpot, your sports team to win, your favourite Australian Idol to win the Idol, that's not really what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the management of your mind and your well-being. So, when I said like a power greater than yourself, so in this context, yourself refers to the analytical and emotional parts of your mind. And often it's identified as the ego. Yeah, so personality is another word that we use, but it's not really the same as ego. So personality comes from an old Etruscan word, persona, which means mask. And in the old dramatic or comedy plays of the Greek culture, actors would put on a mask to demonstrate very clearly that they were an angry bugger, or they were a joyful person or a sad person. So in psychology then, that term persona was used as your personality. What masks are you wearing? Like different mask for your boss, different mask for your lover, different mask for your children, and so forth. But ego's meanings like more the analytical and emotional parts of your mind. All right. So while the ego plays a necessary role in functioning within this world, allowing us to experience uniqueness and a sense of specialness. So when we identify with a body, this is ourselves. So I'm a head, got 2 ears, 2 eyes, nose, a mouth, arms, hands, a trunk, legs, and all that sort of stuff. That's what I am, that's how I am. Well, then we go like, I live in a unique and special identity because I'm separate from everything else. So more and more through philosophy, through science, through all kinds of different ways, it's been found that that sense of separation is actually not true, but it is a sense that we have as we experience ourselves in our lives as a human on planet Earth. So the ego then is part of this vehicle of this body, and it allows us to experience uniqueness and a sense of specialness. But this ego was never meant to manage you. Okay, I hope you can see kind of where this is leading. So, before each lesson in my course on mental health, and I call it Everyday Miracles, I want you to please review our key guiding statements. So these will help you stay aligned with the course's teachings and prevent you from becoming trapped in over-analyzing or excessive intellectualization, because that's not what we're about. That part of your mind goes like, yeah, let me help you. I'll think it over and look at lots of reasons and all that kind of stuff. No, that's the part of the mind that actually is not capable of managing your predicaments, managing your experiences, managing your emotional states. Like at the moment, we had a cyclone, and then after the cyclone, we still have the aftermath, and people are flooded in the outback, lost everything. Okay, you can analyze all you want, but that doesn't really heal you at that moment. But if you can see that your life experience is not you, that there is a you, like Ramana Maharshi practice or gave the practice of self-inquiry. Who is it that's speaking? Who is it that's aware of all this inner chatter and all these experiences? There is a self that's unchangeable, who doesn't interfere, just enriches itself with all these experiences fully well knowing that they're not real. And there's a real power in that. If you can get over this hurdle, what do you mean it's not real? Well, if all of your experiences are illusionary in nature, you can change them. You can change illusions. You can't change the truth or reality. The truth is truth. It's truth everywhere, at any time, out of time. The truth is always true. Reality, something is real, it cannot be threatened. That's the whole idea about reality. It's real, cannot be threatened. Right? There's a book called A Course in Miracles, allegedly channeled by Jesus Christ to Helen Chapman, who was a psychiatrist at Columbia University in New York City, Manhattan. Central Park, that's where the Columbia University is. And he says, what is real cannot be threatened. What is not real doesn't really exist. And herein lies the peace of God. Right? So, your true self, sometimes written with a capital S, is real. Your real self is real and cannot be threatened. Reality cannot be threatened. Illusionary things, although they very maybe real in the moment, and there's really things to be happening to you, and that's okay. You don't have to go like, oh, I need to change that. But it can be changed. Yeah? Your grievance against things, no matter how justified it is, it can be changed. It can be let go of. It can be arranged. Can you get it? I hope so. So, before each lesson, we're going to review, please, key guiding statements. And these will help you stay aligned with the course's teachings and prevent you from becoming trapped in overanalyzing and excessive intellectualization. Instead, they will serve as reminders to focus on experience, transformation, and deeper awareness. So that's what we focus on. Experience, transformation, and deeper awareness. I'm a learning and development guy, so I talk a lot. So here are the statements, and I will be brief. 1. You are not your life's situation. Our minds want to make us happy. And that's not some esoteric teaching. It comes straight from neuroscience. Yeah. Our minds want to make us happy. Not airy-fairy. Science. Your ego was never meant to be good at managing you. Rather, it's a tool to experience life at planet Earth, but it is poorly guided at the same time. True fulfillment comes when we integrate our shadow, the hidden aspects of ourselves we suppress or ignore. You only need to allow for these aspects to come into our awareness, and once acknowledged, hand them over to the power greater than you and watch them melt away miraculously. Yeah, it is that simple. Our brains thrive on interaction, novelty, and change. So instead of viewing distractions as a nuisance, we can recognize it as catalyst for creativity. When we allow ourselves to be inspired by the unexpected, we open the door to new possibilities and fresh ideas. Our memories shape our identity, influence our decisions, and define our understanding of the world. And the reality is that memory is not a perfect recording device. Rather, it's a dynamic, ever-changing process susceptible to distortion, emotional bias, and manipulation. Biases and stereotypes take root as shortcuts in our thinking, making it difficult for us to see beyond our conditioned worldview. To break free, we must actively challenge our patterns of thinking, recognize the illusions we cling to, and adopt a fresh vision of the world. Yeah, there is a lesson I came across once, and it's like, I lose the world from all I thought it was. So it's almost like the shark is still there, the grind is still there, but it uses its power. It no longer has sharp teeth this shark. The grind's no longer working perfectly. It tries to grind me still, but it doesn't have this huge grip on me anymore. Okay, I lose the world from all it was. I came here to experience, and yeah, there's good things and bad things, like we all know, the yin and the yang and so forth. So, contrary to popular belief, external incentives like monetary rewards or public recognition are not the ultimate motivators. While they may influence behavior, in the short term, they do not sustain long-term drive. Instead, our ability to act freely and independently stems from intrinsic motivators, and these are the elements that align with our inner desires and personal values, allowing us to behave authentically and without external pressures. Yeah, and that's usually what people really are struggling with, is having to answer to other people. And you know, you grow up and it's your parents you need to answer to, and then your uncle, your auntie, your gran, your nana, and then it's your teachers at school and so forth, and then your boss and manager. You just go like, I need to be authentic. Yeah? No external pressures. They call it psychological safety these days. All right, setting boundaries is an act of self-love and empowerment, and self-awareness is the key to doing it effectively. So if you understand your needs, limits and values, you can create boundaries that protect your well-being and enable you to live authentically. Remember, boundaries aren't walls to keep others out. They are bridges that ensure healthy, respectful interactions while preserving your peace of mind. Yeah? So singularity happens outside of time. In time, we're living this illusionary reality and experience life as being separate identities. So we're bridging. We need to have social interaction or interaction at another level, but we need to clearly say, yeah, no. Okay. Failure is an integral part of human creativity, a process that strives on breaking rules and thinking differently. Unlike intelligence, which is about following known rules to reach established solutions, like with AI now, creativity pushes boundaries, explores the unknown, and opens doors to new possibilities. And that's the spice of life. And this is happening outside of time or inside of time. So last statement, neuroscience and psychology reveal to us that our personal power lies in taking full responsibility for whatever decisions we make. Thanks.